I've always noticed doors. The texture, the style, the color. I wouldn't say I'm an avid door enthusiast, but I almost always note their presence. Memories often center on a door for me, perhaps a place of reference. My own story of motherhood began 7 years ago, slouched against a peeling white bathroom door, pregnancy test in hand, saying, "This will be okay. This will be okay." And 3 babies later, I think I'm doing all right. A little over 2 years ago, I walked into an ultrasound room. Passing through the door labeled radiology, and a kind hand gently grasped my forearm. The tech rubbed my bare skin with her gloved hand and shook her head. "I'm so sorry. There's no heartbeat." I passed through that stark white door and said goodbye to my 15-week-old little boy. Peeper, we had nicknamed him. My 2 oldest children still talk about him often and always, even when I'd rather not sometimes. About 10 months later, elated that we had made it past 15 weeks with this pregnancy and on to the gender reveal, I walked through the same exact generic white door. I noticed the flyers on it hadn't changed. She's tiny, too tiny. So for the next 20 weeks, I entered the looming glass doors of the prenatal diagnostic center, the smell of the lime coconut air freshener so vivid in my mind, as we tracked my little ninja girl. 3rd percentile, 4th, 1st. Would you like an amnio? Would you like an MRI? No, thank you. I just want my baby. When she finally came, she was whisked away with a CPAP and tense frowns. The midwife came over and said, "She's fine after some airway assistance, but her chin is small." Her chin is small. Okay, lady, thanks for that. I remember the neonatologist as he walked through the door of my recovery room. Soft markers, genetic testing, his back to the door, his nervous anxiety. I couldn't stop shaking, building a huge wall of denial. Crossed fingers, small chin. My mom had crossed fingers. Her chin is so cute. But I knew. I didn't know what, but I knew. I felt the doors of my joy closing on her life and her future. As they wheeled my bed down to the NICU, I remember how we couldn't fit me through the doors to her room, my hospital bed banging the glass. She was so incredibly tiny in that isolette, but skin to skin was so blessed, and I relaxed and I bonded with my perfect little girl. And then her door was shut. When an entire team walks into your NICU room with tissues and social workers, you know it's bad. Incompatible with life. The door to her potential locked with a key before she was even given a chance. Don't Google it, they said. Take pictures. Make memories. You have weeks, maybe months. I heard the deadbolt latch. We went home that night to see my kids, and hanging on the metal garage door was a "Welcome home, Mommy" sign that my incredible eldest daughter made for me. I tried to smile. Of course, I just sobbed. I told them Mommy's so sad because Rosalie has to stay at the hospital. How do you tell your children that their sister is going to die? How do you shut the door on all their plans for their new sibling? So that night, I stayed up the entire night researching, and I found kids, alive kids. Their extra 18th chromosome hadn't defined them or taken them, and they were vibrant, disabled, yes, but loved and beautiful. The window of hope was slowly creaking open. I can remember vividly passing the door to her carefully designed nursery and almost running by it. The thought of her never entering it was unbearable. But of course she did. She came home. She ate. She smiled, and we loved on her. Countless therapists walked through our red wooden front door, and I walked through countless specialist doors. And do you know that of all the doors I love, I hate revolving doors. I don't understand their existence. Boston Children's and Hasbro's revolving doors are the devil. We were there far too often this year, and even the sight of them on commercials make me anxious. Our daughter has incredible challenges. Her heart and lungs don't work right, and her development is significantly delayed. When you read her list of craniofacial malformations, it really sounds quite awful. But I happen to think she's one hell of a beauty. Red hair, blue-gray eyes, peaches and cream skin, and yes, an adorable tiny chin, I guess. Rosie may have many doors shut for her. It's difficult to receive surgery and interventions in a child with her diagnosis. Fortunately, doctors now see her as a vibrant, beautiful baby and largely ignore the big, fat elephant in the room named trisomy 18. I am incredibly grateful for that. Having a child like Rosalie will open so many doors for her siblings and help them form into grateful, awesome humans. She's definitely going to help them ace high school genetics. And my purpose in life has now become very, very simple. I will open as many doors for her as I possibly can, and it's up to her if she'll walk through them. And we'll all help her cross the threshold together.